Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Okay, so let me begin. So let me first open up about myself. The effects of everything that's happened, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a struggle, but I'm in a better place now. Um, at first, I was doing like these live feeds every week about COVID-19 and public health, and that alone made me depressed. And I was like, okay, I got to do something different. I got to change gears. And one thing that definitely helped me during this time was that they released a movie on Lifetime about the Clark sisters. Some of you may have seen it, some of you may have not. But that movie helped me a lot because I think the hearing of the gospel music, and it was pretty much the perfect movie to release during the times that we're living in. And it was like a call to say, like, hold on to God, because God is the only force that's going to get us through this. And all of a sudden I started to feel like this burden being lifted off my shoulders. And because I was so out of it that I wasn't doing YouTube, I wasn't doing anything, I literally was numb. But the reason why I wanted to do this live is to see how everyone else is coping with the aftermath of being quarantined, and the stay at home orders, and people losing their jobs. I mean, I really want to hear from the public of how they're coping with this situation. But getting back to what I was talking about, after I watched that movie, it not only lifted my spirits, but it gave me hope. And now I have more energy to get back to doing the YouTube videos, because for those who've been following me on my lives, I was gone for like almost 2 to 3 weeks. I just didn't have the energy to do anything, and it really ate me up. But with the grace of God, I'm now getting through it. I'm now in a better place. And also, what helped me is that I also joined the live of the Gay Men's Health Collaborative, GMHC. Shout out to you, brothers. Um, they did a great live where they were, checking in on everybody. And this is what I'm doing here on YouTube, is checking in with my followers, people who follow my YouTube videos, and even people who just follow me on social media. This is a check-in. Let us know how you're doing, how you're feeling, what's on your mind. I want the T Zone to be a safe haven for you to come and express yourself.
You're so funny, Shell. Just begging to get beat up.
All right, so while I'm still waiting on people to show up, I'm going to hold on. All right, so let's just say that I've kind of gotten used to the quarantine a little bit. I mean, I'm kind of like an introvert anyway, so I'm known to like stay in the house anyway, even when I was a kid. So being at home really didn't shake me much, but just knowing the reality of what so many people were dealing with really started to get at me because um, I can imagine a lot of people out here are really dealing with a lot since this pandemic has um, taken place, and I know that a lot of us are are dealing with a lot of hardships. And one thing I want to say is that I definitely empathize with all of you. My heart goes out to every single person in America and in the world who have been dealt a major blow due to this global pandemic, and that we need to stick together more than ever now. And definitely, I want this to be a place where people can express how they feel and they can share their thoughts and ideas as to how they're coping with this situation. But yeah, I'm starting to see people are now jumping on now, so I'll keep it on and just ask everybody to introduce themselves if they want, and definitely I'd like to hear your thoughts on how you're coping with this situation. You're absolutely right, Bestie. We will get through this together. I think it sometimes takes a crisis or a tragedy sometimes to unite the people, and I think with this is our call to unite and to move forward in a positive light. Because there's a lot of negativity out here, but we gotta beat it and we gotta overcome it, and it starts with ourselves. Yeah, but definitely listening to positive music I think will help a lot of people who may be dealing with those moments where you're angry and you are, dealing with a lot of emotional anger and a lot of psychological distractions. Music I think is definitely one of the healing tools that'll help get you through this. So listen to some positive music. I mean, I would suggest gospel and jazz. I think those are very useful, because jazz helps you to be mellow, and gospel gives you that spirit. You know, it's just something about gospel. It just gets you upbeat, and you know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I started listening to the Clark sisters. I'm listening to all their songs because I'm a huge fan. You Brought the Sunshine always brightens up my day. So when I listen to You Brought the Sunshine, it takes me somewhere. Yeah, you're right, Bestie. Music is definitely great medicine. So, if you feel those moments where you're getting tense and you're getting frustrated, just put on some music. Yes, me too. Me too. Definitely watching movies. I'm actually gonna start doing some movie reviews on my YouTube channel. Because I've been watching a lot of different YouTubers review movies and stuff, and I've also reviewed some movies too, but not just in large numbers. But I'm like, yeah, it's making me watch a lot of movies. Been doing a lot of surfing on Netflix and Hulu. Been getting my life. So yeah, that's definitely very helpful tools as well. Oh wow, DG the disc. Thank you. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining the live, and that's cool. Learning new foods to cook and music. Yeah, positive things, man. Big ups on that. And hey, I'm a big man. I love to eat, so I'm not gonna even front. So yeah, new foods is always a good idea, and that's awesome that you're learning new things during this time, and it's giving us a chance to be creative and to think outside the box. So that's always a great thing. Yeah, so definitely thanks for your comment, DG. So what are like some of the music that you've all been listening to? Because for me, it was the Clark sisters that got me woken. But what are some of the music choices that some of you are listening to that got you in a good headspace? Well, to tell you the truth, one of my favorite binge shows that I've been watching has been Frasier, and it's because I think white people are funny. Don't judge me. But anyway, but it is a good show. That because at first I was watching Law and Order SVU, and I'm a big SVU fan, but that show started to depress the living shit out of me. I had to turn it off. I couldn't deal with it anymore. It really started to really fuck with me. So I started to watch Frasier because I needed some comic relief. And Frasier, due to the fact that he's such a narcissist and that he's, supposed to be a psychiatrist, but then he has these psychotic moments himself, is just hilarious. And then seeing him interact with his family, now that, his father had to move in with him, and then interacting with his brother and all of that, it just really helped me to just laugh at certain moments, and it helped me to do my it helped me to get out of my funk. Hey Sharon, how you doing, honey? Yes. Yeah, that first album of Erica Badu on repeat, everything. I'm with you on that. Oh yeah, old school groove music. Yes, DG. I'm with you on that. I love classic R&B and classic soul. So yeah, you definitely get two thumbs up with that. That always livens your spirit. Oh yes, independent artists. That's a good thing, bestie. And I know you review a lot of independent artists on your channel. So yeah, so definitely check out my bestie's channel. The K2 spot. He does a lot of great music reviews on current artists as well as independent artists. So definitely check him out. I'm so sorry to hear that, Sharon. I mean, she mentioned that she's an essential worker and getting hazard pay for it. I'm like, yeah, you're not alone, Sharon. I mean, there are a lot of people right now who are essential workers, and they're not getting nowhere near the payment that they deserve because they're putting their lives on the line to see that our economy as well as our livelihood is still intact. And I think that yeah, there should definitely be some more provisions as well as help for the essential workers because dealing with this situation is not easy, and uh, you know, at the end of the day, you know, people who have to get up every day to provide for their children, to pay their rent, these are people that we need to help the economy to function. That helps keep things going. And the fact that a lot of people who are on the front lines that are not being treated fairly, even in the medical field and many other areas. It's just messed up. You're right about that, Sharon. It's right. The automotive industry, yes, definitely another one that's taking a hit. I mean, because there's some who, are working, but then there's other places that they're not. So it's kind of like touch and go, which is messed up. I mean, which is why I say, as far as the stimulus payment, Trump change is what I like to call it. Um, I feel you, Sharon. I'm like, yeah, all the health provisions. I mean, because now, as far as like, because I live in D.C. and I live literally on the state line of Maryland, and Maryland, it's by law now that you have to wear a mask if you come into any store or any vicinity. And yeah, and they also now mark the 6 feet distance on the ground, so you have to stay 6 feet from everybody while shopping and all of that. It's become a drag, and it's crazy. And then wow, reduced hours, like crazy because because I know, Sharon, you have a child, and there are a lot of people who have children who now still got to go to work and have to work at reduced hours, and it's insane. So I'm saying, like, as far as Trump change, there needs to be more than that strangling down the pike for everyone, because a lot of people have lost out due to this situation, and that's just pretty much peanuts as far as I'm concerned. Um, and exactly, there's a lot of states now that are making it law that you have to wear a mask, or you can face up to $500 fine or jail time. And I seriously, I really appreciate all of you guys for getting on here and sharing your thoughts with me. I think it's very important, because I want the T Zone to be a space where we can just talk openly. I understand, DG. I mean, yeah, it's getting to that point where people are shopping online, and you said Instacart. I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you at all, because yeah. Because I admit, even going into a grocery store now, it is a drag. I mean, it's to the point where going shopping has become depressing. And when has it ever been where shopping has been a depressing thing? Usually people shop to deal with depression, and now you get depressed by going shopping. Some crazy shit. But yeah, I definitely understand, DG. Stay safe and stay home. I'm only time I leave the house is when it's absolutely necessary. So if I ain't gotta go nowhere, I ain't leaving. I know that's right, Sharon. Yes, Amazon is like a godsend. Yes, exactly. You can find all the things you want there on Amazon, and if you can shop online, I would suggest do that. If it prevents you from going outside, have to deal with all this madness, so be it. I know that's right, DG. I completely agree. Amazon is a godsend right now. Shoot, deliver what I want to my doorstep. Drop it off and keep rolling. Damn it. And even the same thing when it comes down to restaurants. Thank God for Grubhub and Uber Eats. Oh yeah, Groupon. That's definitely a good one, Bestie. Yes, I definitely agree. Yes, I did, and I was so fucking mad when I saw that shit. It's a good thing you brought that up. That was insane. Like, there was no social distancing. There were people from corner to corner, and it was packed. Yeah, I definitely saw that. I saw it on my Twitter. And I was blown the fuck away. I was like, motherfuckers are not taking this shit seriously. It's like people want to die. Like, this is crazy. I don't do Uber Eats either, but hey, it's just I just mentioned it as a suggestion because some people do. But yeah, I feel you. I feel you, DG. But yeah, it's crazy. Yes, I definitely agree, Sharon. Yes. Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. It was insane. Like you literally see people from one side of the room to the other, and it is packed. They got people on stairs, and the whole place is just covered with people. And they called it the COVID-19 party. Exactly. And the thing about it, you know, due to the fact that for a long time they weren't reporting that a lot of these COVID-19 cases were black people. Like we're not invincible to this shit. As a matter of fact, we're like a main target for it. Oh, for real, Sharon? Yeah, I know. Like, wow. So she just mentioned that that whole party was not far from where she lives. Yeah, that was insane. I don't know whose idea was to do that shit, but that was insane. That's I mean, let's be real. I mean, all of these health professionals who are telling us about social distancing and staying at home, they're not saying this just for clout. I mean, this is real. I mean, and there are a lot of people who have passed on, because of this illness, and it's affecting everybody. So yeah, you need to take this shit seriously. You shouldn't be at a damn party full of people. Exactly. It kind of reminds me of historically back when the Spanish flu was going on. They had that big parade in Philadelphia, and literally weeks after that, there were like over 4,500 people dead. Like we need to learn from history, because history is never supposed to repeat itself. I still don't understand, DG, why they even opened up Georgia in the first place. Like, what is the true underlying meaning by that shit? You know, like there's still no vaccine for the coronavirus. So why are you opening up everything? Why are you opening up anything right now? Unless it's an essential business, it shouldn't be open. And like what why are these politicians just making this rash decision where we want to get things back to normal? Well, it's a global pandemic. Things are never going to go back to normal. Wow, I'm deeply sorry to hear that, Sharon. I really am. Like, it's hitting home for all of us. Um, not only people that we know, but even friends of ours, that we know are being affected by COVID-19. Tell it like it is, DG. Exactly. Because they're not affected because they have their careers, they have their money, and because it doesn't affect them, they just pass it on. Well, people can just go out and shop and do all of this because they're trying to get this economy up and running again. I agree. You're absolutely right, Bestie. Like, yes, people's common sense are at an all-time low right now because that thing in Chicago was insane, and it shouldn't have happened. That was just pure, unadulterated insanity, and I would hate to hear that a lot of those people in that party ends up getting the COVID-19 and they end up dying. Because we keep testing the waters to think that we're invincible to this. Nobody is. I mean, because everybody's immune system is different. And even if you don't get affected, you could be affecting a family member who has a weaker immune system. So the fact that they even had that party was just dumb. And it was pretty much suicide. You're right about that, and there were a lot of people like Willie D and many others who made videos on YouTube about them opening up Georgia, and that they're opening up, places like um, and they're opening up places like barbershops, nail places, beauty salons, and all of that, knowing this is places where black folks congregate. So yeah, they're setting up a trap. I completely agree with that. And yeah, and I'm just as pissed as you are because it's insane. Yeah, that is old school and it's real. I mean, the whole thing about us is that we have to learn to stay two steps ahead and stop falling into these traps. We got to be smarter. Because in all honesty, that's what our ancestors did. They were smarter and they made better decisions. We need to do the same thing. I wouldn't disagree with that, Bestie. I know that. That's the reason why he's given us Trump change, aka stimulus checks, because that's what I call them, Trump checks, or Trump change, you know, or chump change, pretty much just little pocket money so you can go out and go shopping and, you know, get caught on cloud nine spending your money, not realizing that you're putting yourself at risk. Yeah, because there's definitely been discussions even prior to this that they're using this as a mode of population control, which I think is the dumbest shit ever. Because like there will never be enough people to populate the Earth. The Earth is so big and so vast. The Earth is going to outlive all of us, and the vast area of the Earth is huge. So there'll never be enough people in the world. Yeah, kind of reminds me of the test that they did at Tuskegee University where they were injecting black people with syphilis. The same old bullshit. They want to test it out on people of color and people who are poor because they kind of put them in the category as useless eaters, which has been a load of bullshit. Then as it is now. Every human being matters, and your economic situation shouldn't define your wealth as a human being anyway. Yep, and they definitely been talking about that whole thing with Bill Gates, and they're just using this as like as an excuse to do this genocide and you know inhuman bullshit that they're trying to push. And I'm so not here for it whatsoever. And I'm loving how you guys are lighting up this live because you guys are speaking some real shit. And I'm all here for it. But then again, as far as those stimulus checks, I feel that every American deserves it because this is an inconvenience for everybody. So everybody should get a check. But I would just urge everyone to be smart with that money and don't get caught up in the game. Like yeah, if you really need to get your barber or get your hair did or get your nails done, call a friend and have them come over and do it at your house. I mean, don't be out there, you know, trying to be all out in public with that shit. If you got a trusted, client that you work with, bring them over to your house and let them cut your hair or style your hair or do your nails or whatever. Pretty much, the whole market has now become like a work from home type of situation. Do it from your house. Stay home and bring people over to do your hair or whatever it is because we know we like to be fresh and we like to be clean, we like to be sharp. I mean, hell, I'm wearing a do-rag. I haven't got my hair cut in a month, you know, but hey, it's a risk I took. I mean, because all my money went to restocking and making sure we had everything we needed as far as like bleach and food and all of that. So hey, if you but so yeah, for those who are in Georgia or anywhere else, if you really want to get your hair cut, get it cut from home. Either do it yourself or bring somebody in who's a professional who can do your hair. I completely agree, Sharon. I mean, they're even talking about this new program that they might launch called ABC Care, where everyone would get a prepaid card with $2,000 on it, and then from there every month it will reload at $100 at $1,000. I completely I completely agree. I completely agree. Yeah, this administration owes the American people because due to their arrogance, negligence, this is why this shit happened because it could have been prevented. I mean, epidemics happen all the time, but the fact that it became a pandemic was due to negligence and ignorance and lack of leadership. So yeah, this government owes the American people. So yeah, start cutting them checks, so people can pay their bills and people can, stabilize their families because this didn't have to happen. This was preventable. And I don't give a damn what anybody says. This situation was preventable. Yes, and that's what's up, Bestie. Absolutely. Mm. Yeah, and I'm pretty much seeing now that now that the live is popping, I now know next time I'll just be more patient. You're right, DG. Absolutely, because some people let money blind them. Because um I had a cousin whose baby father one day, it was like Thanksgiving years ago. He came downstairs because all of us fellas were in the basement, drinking and watching the game. And he was shouting out that, yeah, I voted for Trump. I'm glad I voted for Trump. He like money. But that's just it, boo boo. He likes money, but he don't like you. How about that? And now it's proven to that. And a lot of people have weaknesses when it comes to money, but the thing about it is that, I think about that line from the Players Club: make the money, don't let the money make you. Yes, I completely agree. I agree, Sharon. I completely agree. It set the precedent for this shit. And it's like funny now that he's now trying to dodge, doing updates on COVID-19 because it's now a pandemic. Now this son of a bitch don't even want to talk about it. It's because now you can't bullshit your way out of it anymore. Oh, sure, I know what you're talking about now. And it's funny because Obama did bring up the fact that we definitely needed, a group of people to work on oncoming epidemics. He actually did say that in a speech back, I think I think it was like 2014, I think. I got you, Sharon. It's all good. I mean, I kind of figured that's what you meant. Exactly. And did you hear this dumb son of a bitch talking about we need to inject ourselves with disinfectants? Like this asshole don't know what to say out of his mouth. It's sad. You're right about that, DG. He is like he can't bullshit his way out of this because now this problem has become bigger than him, and now he really looks like shit because for the longest he's been pushing it off, saying it's no big deal, and then you're blaming China for it. Like, no. And I hated when when he was playing that narrative, blaming. Absolutely, absolutely, bestie. It does show ignorance. It shows the fact that this that this son of a bitch should have never been in the Oval Office. Like he should have just stuck with Celebrity Apprentice. He should have been grateful for that, and he wouldn't be in this problem. But because of his arrogance and because of his greediness, he always wanted to be in the Oval Office, and now he got it, and now it's working against him. Exactly, Sharon. It's poison. They put it on the damn labels for crying out loud. And now you're saying we should inject this to help us to fight COVID-19? Get the hell out of here. Crazy as hell. And it's sad that, we're in this situation, but we're going to prevail from this. I agree, bestie. 45 lives in Dumbass Boulevard. I completely agree with you, DG. But I wasn't surprised that he was acquitted because the fact that there's a lot of dirt on him, you can pretty much well assure this is a businessman. So not only was there dirt on him, he knew the dirt of some of those other Republicans and know that they wouldn't actually budge in getting him impeached. He had their 411. I mean, because that's exactly how a businessman moves. You know, I got some ammunition that can ruin you, so don't you dare try to ruin me. It was an intimidation tactic. I know, right? Exactly. So there are a lot of them in even in his administration, but also in the Congress and Senate that he had goods on. So a lot of them weren't going to go against him, like they should have, because that would have meant the end of their careers. And everybody's about themselves. So you're absolutely. Hey, Melrose, how you doing, sweetheart? Yes, I completely agree with you. It. Because we can't even find disinfectants for cleaning because a lot of places you go, you can't find any disinfectants. No Lysol, bleach. A lot of these places are out of it, and now you're saying we should use this to inject ourselves with it. Just shows that he doesn't care about the American people. Wow. It's just insane how our leadership is like, to tell you the truth, who I look to for this situation are people in the medical field, and I don't even look to this administration because you're not going to get anything there. I mean, because I was just not too long ago watching what's his name? Uh, yeah, he used to be on TV1. I forgot his name though. It's funny. I love this guy, but his name just slipped my mind. But it'll probably come back to me. Uh, but yeah, there's a lot of other intelligent sources that I'm following in regards to this situation, because I'm not looking to this administration for anything. Just cut those checks because you owe the American people, because the fact of your ignorance and negligence, you have robbed them of their daily livelihood. So therefore, yeah, you owe the people. Cut the money. I completely agree with her, bestie. Absolutely. There you go. Thank you, bestie. Roland Martin. Thank you. Yes, I'm a huge fan of Roland Martin. It was a crime that they got rid of his thing, but he has an entrepreneurial mindset, and he now has his own thing going on YouTube, and he has his own streaming. And when he was reporting about it, like, he went in on what's his face, dang, I mean, I'd be hating that shit. Like, when I'd be having things on my mind and it just leaves. Yeah, thank you, Sharon. Yes, you know, um, that big eyed dude who what's his name that does this show. Yeah, because Roland Martin was going in on all of these supposed doctors who were out here saying all this crazy shit, and he was saying that this is a pandemic. This is something that none of us have ever been in. Bit. This is something that we've never been dealt with before, and we're learning as we go along. But people are just saying stupid shit. Exactly. He does nothing but speak the truth, and that's why I'm a huge fan of his. I mean, I remember when he read Stacey Dash for Filth, I was laughing my ass off because he came with receipts. And that's the thing about Roland Martin. He will come with receipts for that ass. Absolutely. So yes, this is definitely a time where, really the power lies with us. Yes. Yes, it lies with us. And definitely Roland Martin is definitely somebody that I watch a lot, and I just love his take on things. And the fact that this asshole says that he no longer wants to do debriefings and shit, like, so you're pretty much saying you don't want to be president anymore either. Okay, the door's right there. Don't let it hit you in the ass. Get on. Let somebody who really wants to run this country and actually care about the common good of the people of America be in that position. Oh yes, he did come for Wendell Williams. Everybody be coming for that girl. I love her, but her mouth gets her in trouble, and that's her thing. That's always been her problem. Like when she had made this comment about the Clark sisters, because Snoop Dogg had the #1 gospel album, and she pretty much told the Clark sisters they need to step their game up. Really, bitch? They're legends. They don't need to step up anything. If anything, they've made it possible for gospel to have a now mainstream appeal. They were pioneers, and you gonna tell them to step their game up? She does that too much, and that's the thing. Wendy's mouth is her business, but the thing about Wendy is that she has diarrhea of the mouth. She doesn't know when to shut up, and that's why she gets in all the controversy that she gets into, because she says shit that she shouldn't say. She don't know how to control it. But I do love her crazy ass though. I mean, I have nothing but love for Wendy, but but a lot of times she does that shit. I'm like, really, girl? Seriously? Like, did you even think before you said that? And 9 times out of 10, she didn't. Oh yeah, Sharon, that was funny when he was reading Stacey Dash too. That was hilarious because he was coming with the receipts like shit, and I'm like, wow. Oh my god. I mean, I was already a fan of his, but I became a bigger fan after he did that because she was doing too much. And then he also started talking about Wendy Williams even more so, made me even a bit more of a fan of his because he's one of those, news people that tell it like it really is. Yes, she does. I mean, hell, I mean, even when she was dating old boy from EPMD, um, Eric Sermon, and she started spreading those rumors that he was gay. Like that was all clout. And I saw one documentary where a guy was like, "Well, damn, Wendy done made her mouth her business. Good job, Wendy, because that's what she does." Yep, I completely agree with you, Sharon. Kanye does the same thing too. Yes, he did. And I am still laughing at that shit to this day because he let Stacey Dash have it. And I was so here for it. Because I'm like, boo boo, you up here talking all this shit. I mean, it would have been different if Stacey did it on a black platform. Therefore, it would have been a discussion. But you did this shit on Fox News. And we know who represents Fox News. Because even her own damn cousin even went against it. Dame Dash. He was like, I understood where she was coming from. She's always been like that, but she shouldn't have did that shit on Fox News. So it was a bad move. Like we need to get rid of BET and the BET awards. Like seriously, bitch. They the ones who helped make your career. These white people weren't checking for you until we gave you a platform. Seriously? Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's no mistaking she was in the movie Clueless because she's clueless in real life. Yeah, Kanye has definitely gone on the deep end. You know, there's no coming back for Kanye. There you go. Absolutely, bestie. He is a walking contradiction. Because I remember there was this Vlad TV interview that Charlemagne the God did, where he was saying all this shit, but then Charlemagne was like, well, if that's how you feel, then why don't you just take your music to the black community? But you're not going to do that, are you? Instead of you worrying about getting on these major airwaves, why don't you create your own streaming and get your music out that way? But you're not going to do that. So just shut the fuck up forever and do your job. I was done. Cause yeah, Kanye is known to be that type of person where he'll just say outlandish shit, but yet, dude, you're a walking contradiction. You talking about black people that then had to know to say slavery is a choice? No, bro, it wasn't. I mean, you have a choice of how you respond to it, but no, it's not a choice. There you go, Shane. You better call her ass out. That's true. Yes, no one checked for her until she started in Clueless as herself. That was good. I completely agree with that. That is so real. Yeah, it was. I completely agree. I mean, if anything, you got one of the biggest gold diggers in the game. Like, walking contradiction like shit. But then again, Kim don't need his money. But let's just be real. Kim ain't messing with no broke niggas. Well, wow, this is really awesome. Mm. But yeah, it's crazy. So, how many of you guys actually watched the Clark Sisters movie that appeared on Lifetime? What were your thoughts about that? Yeah, it was a self prophecy. I completely agree with you, Sharon. I swear. I'm loving this, y'all. I'm loving connecting with y'all. Like, you guys are coming with it and y'all coming strong. I'm with it. Oh, yeah. I completely agree with you, Sharon. And I think that's probably going to happen. Because we already know the man's mentally unstable. And due to some of the things he went through in his life, it's not surprising. So I'm not making fun of mental illness whatsoever. But he ain't surrounded by the right people. And let's just say that when he goes too far on that deep end, yeah, he will be somewhere in a padded room, strapped up, and Kim gonna be cashing them checks, for her and them kids. Oh my gosh, Sharon, I said the same thing. Yeah, I really wanted more. But due to the control of the Kojic Church, and due to the fact that it's going to expose a lot more of them sisters than they want out there, I mean, they gave a great presentation, though. It was a good movie, but yeah, there was a lot of holes in it. Mainly because Denise wasn't even a part of discussions when it came down to the movie. I mean, personally, I think Denise needs to write a book, and I want her to do her own TV movie. As far as what was it like being a part of the Clark sisters, and what was her relationship in regards to her family, because she's done interviews on Larry Reed Live, and she's done four of them with him, and she was airing out some tea, y'all. She was airing out some stuff, but personally, I think she just needs to write a book. I for one will read that bitch and I will review it. Like, honestly. But yeah, Sharon, I completely agree. It should have been more, because there were a lot of holes missing, and there was a lot of jumping around. Like, I wanted to know what was Dr. Maddie Mus Clark when she was just Maddie living in Selma, Alabama. I wanted to know that. I know, DG. It's crazy. Even as of to this date, they're still uh they're still, they don't fuck with Denise at all. And I think it's because Denise is the one that's not gonna go along to get along. She speaks her mind, she says what she says, and she means it. Cause I love that scene when she decided not to sign that contract, and she decided to stand her ground that, no, I'm not doing this shit. I want something else. I completely agree. She definitely did have the Joe Jackson syndrome, Melrose. She definitely did. Absolutely, definitely, DG. Yeah, yeah. The Kojic definitely didn't want to be exposed in this movie. I mean, even though some of it was exposed, especially after they sat her down, after she appeared on the Grammys performing with her daughters, and that was just nothing but Kojic hate. They were hating on her ass. They were jealous of her. Exactly. Twinkie's the only one that does speak to Denise, and Twinkie, I think I would say was the most sensitive one out of the sisters. She was the most fragile, and I think that's why Hattie kept well, I think that's why Maddie kept a close rein on her, and she know that if she let her out of her sight, she would lose her. And when she met John Terrell, initially that's what happened. And it's crazy, yeah, because Twinkie's the only one that still speaks to Denise. The rest of the family don't fuck with her. And I just think it's crazy. Like, you guys are a gospel group, and yet y'all can't even make it right with your own sister. I really do hope that they do heal as a family, though. Mm-hmm. Yes, and definitely Melrose. Maddie definitely was another Joe Jackson. It's just that she wasn't physically abusive, but she was at times emotionally and psychologically abusive to her daughters. And because there was a person that when I did my initial review of it on my YouTube on KRSTV, there was one said that she was abusive, and I said, well, I don't think she was abusive, but I was thinking about it from the physical standpoint. But yeah, because we all know that abuse is not just physical. So yeah, she was abusive in some aspects. Where she never really let Twinkie grow up. So Twinkie didn't really learn the hard knocks of life. So that's why she made certain bad decisions. Because I think Twinkie's a genius. I mean, and she's definitely a gift. I mean, the way that she wrote "You Brought the Sunshine" and how that song is still a classic to this day shows her genius at its best. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. DG Kiki Shear played the hell out of Karen. She had her mother down, and it's not easy playing your parents. So yes, Kiki acted her ass off. She did a great job. But yes, I was here for the movie. I loved it, and I didn't like how they try to cast Denise as being the bad child. I don't think Denise was bad at all. Denise just wanted something different. Denise wanted her own life. She didn't want to play along with with um with what Maddie wanted to do. She wanted to do her own thing. I think she gave that away because she was trying to find. She wanted something for herself. I completely agree, Bestie. If they had Denise back, mending the family drama, they would be stronger as a family. Absolutely. Absolutely, she was. She definitely was, Sharon. And I have to go back to my video and hit up that person. I'm like, I have to agree with you now. You were right. She was abusive. She just wasn't abusive physically. She had dealt with physical abuse herself, but when it came down to her daughters, it was emotional and psychological. You doing this for God. And it was funny because Twinkie got to the point where she's like, I don't know the difference. I don't know if I'm doing this for you or doing this for the Lord. So yeah, it was screaming that yeah, she was abusive. And that she wasn't, and she admitted herself that I'm not a soft woman. I push and I push and I push and then I push some more. I don't blame Denise for leaving the group either. And Denise, and I would definitely suggest you guys to go to Larry Reed live and watch and listen to her interviews that she did with him. She revealed a lot about some of the things she had to deal with, as far as her family. Like when she was pregnant for the first time, she had talked about how they sat her in a room, and each one of them, it was like she was on the hot seat, and each one of them one by one read her down, and it was her father that pulled her out of there. And he said he had to drive around for about 2 hours to get her to stop crying because she was deeply hurt. That why will my family attack me like this? I mean, they were really going in on her as saying that she's that she's always been a bad seed and what she's doing is destroying the group. But she also mentions too that she wasn't the only one that got pregnant. She just kept her babies, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, it's a reason why there was certain things that wasn't revealed in that movie because it was gonna open a hell of a lot more can of worms that they didn't want to deal with, and also it was gonna bring out the Kojic Church and how they run. I mean, y'all remember Andrew Caldwell? I am delivered. Yeah, Kojic all day. But I definitely, commend Maddie Marks Clark, because she was a pioneer in her own right. I mean, what she was doing was going against the grain that a lot of women weren't doing at that time. I mean, which is probably why she had, domestic issues in her marriage because she was a woman that was a go-getter. She wasn't the one that was just going to be on the side of a man and just play the dutiful first lady or the dutiful housewife. She was ambitious, and during that time a lot of men frowned upon an ambitious woman. Now we celebrate it, but then a lot of men did not. Yes. But yes, but personally, I felt that yeah, I completely agree. I wanted more from the movie, and I personally felt that yeah, I wanted to see what was how was Maddie before she became Dr. Maddie Moss Clark. I wanted to see like what led her to that, and they didn't even mention their brother Leo. Leo's the eldest out of all the kids, and he was only mentioned in the scene when Jackie was getting married, but you ain't see Leo not once in the movie. You're right about that, DG. That is so true. And that was something that she was dealing with not only in her marriage, but also when it came down to the board of trustees down at the Kojic Church when they had issues with her performing at the Grammys. When really they was just jealous of her because she was becoming huge, and they wanted to set her down. You're right. You're right. Definitely that's still going on now, but definitely back then it was even worse. It was crazy. Because I think that's also what broke up her first marriage as well. Because both marriages ended in divorce. And definitely, I definitely, remember going to choir rehearsals. And yeah, that choir mistress, if you were out of line, she was known to throw a shoe or something like that at you. But, boo boo, the way my mother was when I was growing up, oh, trust and believe that wouldn't have went down. My mother would have fucked Maddie up if she would have did that shit to me. My mother's from New York, so my mother don't play. She would have went down there and she would have whooped Patty's ass. But that's old school. That's some old school shit. Like you out of line. A book gonna get thrown. A shoe gonna get thrown. You know. I mean, because I thought it was because the thing about it, she threw that shoe at somebody else's child. Now today's world, that shit wouldn't have went down. But that scene definitely tickled me because the old girl was not only was she off, but then she was chewing gum too. Yeah, that's right. There are still men who frown upon women's success, and that's unfortunate because women have just as much right and has just as much greatness to be bestowed just as men. I mean, women are here for a reason, and women should be celebrated, not told to just, you need to stand here and just be by my side. You need to represent me. And I'm like, if you're a man, you can represent your damn self. You can represent yourself with a woman or without one. And maybe because I was raised by powerful women. I mean, I was raised by my mother and my grandmother, and I think both of them I saw them as being very powerful women who did what they had to do to provide for their families and to provide for themselves. So I look up to women, and I celebrate women all the time. Um, so for me, it's like when oh yeah, you ain't lying about that, Sharon. Shoot, that's that old school punishment, that extension cord or belt. Oh yeah, and trust me, I've met with both of them on many occasions because I ain't gonna lie, I was a good kid, but I had a lot of mouth, so I got into a lot of shit. So yeah, I've definitely felt the extension cord and I felt the belt. That time when you do something so bad, the mother would just grab the first thing she can find and beat your ass with it. Yeah, I know about that. But yeah, definitely DG and Sharon, I'm with you guys on that. Mm. Yeah, but it's crazy though, because like some of those things that we saw in the movie are still things we're doing now. But I can honestly say that movie helped me to get out of my depression with dealing with this situation because the that music I connected with, and it helped me to come out of that madness. And it their music is still powerful to this day. Definitely you guys should check out The Return, their new album. Oh yeah, that switch. Mm-mm. Yes, Joe Jackson, outside, go get a switch. Uh huh. Oh yeah, them switches were everything, especially if you grew up in the South. Like yes, you had you. It used to be funny because I would see mothers walking with their kids and she had a switch in her hand, like so the kids got in line, swap. It was like having a damn fly swatter. Oh, I did too. Because it was just me and my brother Kyle growing up. But Kyle was considered the good one because Kyle was quiet, he was shy, he really didn't say too much. Me, I was the total opposite, and even to this day, me and my brother are polar opposites. We're like night and day. Oh, I was gonna say something, and I didn't give a damn if you beat me. I'm still gonna say something. That was me. Oh my goodness, yes, that was me. So trust me, that switch was always on deck. Oh yes, Masterpiece is a great song. Absolutely, yes. That's what's up, bestie. Uh huh. It better be green. Oh yeah. And if you tried that whole thing about getting like a real thin switch or a real small one, trying to be slick, oh trust and believe, if she had to go out and pick out one, oh she was gonna pick out one and you was gonna get it. You were going to get it. So if she sent you out there to pick one, you better pick the right kind. Shit, I remember like when I was a kid, at a babysitter's house. I wasn't the one getting whooped, but you know, the girl's mother asked her to get a switch. She came out with these. She picked these real, you know, uh, bulky ass switches and shit. When she came up in their house with those switches, she tore her up immediately, and I was like, and I thought she was gonna get me too, but she just told me to sit my ass down. But I was like, damn, it's like that because she picked the wrong kind of switch. You fucked her up. Like seriously. I know how you feel, Sharon. So did I. Which is why they got me up out of there. But that's another story for another day. But hey, I'm all grateful though. But yeah, Masterpiece is that song though. And Jesus is a Love Song is another one of my favorites too. I mean they have some beautiful music. And also Name It Claim It is one of my faves. And Hallelujah, yes. Uh I mean because watching that movie and listening to their music got me out of that dark place that I was feeling due to this whole COVID-19 situation. Yes, hallelujahs. All right, guys. Well, yeah, clutch the pearls. I heard that. Absolutely. Yes. But but it definitely I think the movie really resonated with me too because I actually grew up in a holiness church in North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina, and the Kojic was literally right around the corner from the church I grew up in. And my aunt and my uncle are a part of the Kojic. My uncle is now passed, but my aunt is still a part of the Kojic. So yeah, I've been to a few of their services over the years. So yeah, I know how they move. And I definitely know they have a thing where you have to date and marry within the church. Because that's exactly what happened with Dorinda and Karen and even Jackie, because I think Glenn was a part of the Kojic as well. and they all met, dated, and married men that were a part of the same church. The only way it would work is if you guys were married before you joined. So yeah, they're very big about that, and I definitely know that to be true. But yes, child, I was getting my life. Mm. All right, y'all. So let's see. So anybody else got any other topics we can discuss while we're on the live? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are. They definitely are. I even got I have an aunt who's Jehovah's Witness. So yeah, they they definitely have some of the same type of restrictions. Yeah, that's the reason why I stopped reviewing it on my YouTube channel. Because I was a big fan of Empire, but after you know Jesse was no longer a part of the picture, it just wasn't the same for me. And I saw a few episodes of season 6, and I just was turned off. It just wasn't the same anymore. And I'm mad because they got rid of Star, and Star was a damn good show. I mean, once they realized that they weren't gonna get Jesse back, they should have just ended it. And a lot of people said that the finale of Empire they were let down because due to the current situation that we're under, they couldn't film the last few episodes, so they just ended it where they ended it, and it was a whole bunch of open stories and a whole lot of holes that weren't closed up. So it was just crazy. Exactly, Sharon. That was just insane. But it just goes to show you, man, how they be doing these shows. Like that was just bad. And one of the reasons why I stopped reviewing it because season 6 was just horrible to me. I mean, yeah, there was. I mean, I liked Andre's storyline and how he was still battling his mental illness, and how old boy was his brother was haunting him because he had his heart. I mean, that was pretty interesting, but everything else, they could have just it just really just wasn't working for me. And then Becky getting on drugs, like seriously, I wasn't with it. I like Star as well. Star was a really good show and it had a lot of promise. And the way that they shut that show down, I'm still pissed off about that. Because I loved that show and I was mad that they killed my girl Miss Ruby. I'm still to this day I'm pissed off that they shot her up like that. I wanted Miss Ruby to live. Because she had every right to kill that son of a bitch because he raped her and he was nothing but a dirty ass dog. And then had the nerve to be cocky about it like, huh, you miss me, huh? So I'm like, oh, really, bruh? So you one of these niggas who rape bitches and think you got good dick? Jokes? I think not. But yeah, I was so mad that they canceled Star because Star was good, and I really wanted to see, where the show was gonna go because I was so here for it. I mean, the acting was great, and the music The music was better on Star than it was on Empire. I think after Timberland left Empire, the music just wasn't the same on Empire. Because, that first season, the music was everything. Oh my gosh, Sharon, yes, Ambitions on OWN. That was a damn good show, and they canceled it. They had a damn good first season, and I was here for it. I loved reviewing the show too, because it was really gonna start getting good, and then they didn't renew them for a second season, and it was so messed up because Robin Givens did the damn thing on that show. Like that was like a major, big role for her. And even Brian White, I loved him. As the governor, because he was actually the mayor. He was a trip, and the mayor had a whole bunch of shit going on. I mean, it was a great show, and it's just crazy how like they'll get rid of a good show just to keep bad ones around. Like seriously, are you looking at the ratings? I mean, are you looking at the fact that they have a lot of fans? Like, but then again, it's a lot of times with these shows, it's sometimes a show will end just totally based on politics. It's even sometimes the reason why people don't get certain jobs. It's on politics. Indeed. But yeah. All right, guys. So I'm about to sign off. I truly thank you guys for everything that you put down in those comments. You guys were giving me life. I truly enjoyed this live. I will be doing another one soon. I will definitely will promote it in my social media, and I'll also do a post on YouTube to let you know when the next T Zone live will be appearing, so you guys can get on and we can discuss anything you guys want to talk about. Yeah, I completely agree, Sharon. I wanted to see if Bella was gonna air the major because she did do that interview where she had mentioned that the little boy was his son. Like, how y'all gonna give us all this good shit and then end the show? Seriously. But yeah, but get down in those comments and and also while you guys are at it, give me certain ideas and things that we can talk about, with the T Zone and everything, and because as I said, I want the T Zone to be a safe space where we can come and we can just talk about anything, because this situation has affected all of us, and we should have a place where we can really speak, how we feel, whether we're happy, whether we're sad, whether we're angry, or whether we're just ecstatic. This should definitely be the place for it. Yeah, I definitely hope they end How to Get Away with Murder well. I hope they end How to Get Away with Murder as well. I've still been trying to find the beginning part of it because I was under the weather when it first came out, so I haven't reviewed anything of season 6, but I want to get my hands on it so I can start reviewing them, because I've actually got people to message me to say they wanted me to review How to Get Away with Murder season 6. And I love How to Get Away with Murder, and I'm actually sad that the show was going. But yeah, same here with me, Sharon. This Lost show is definitely keeps me at the edge of my seat. So I definitely need to try to figure out how I can get the earlier episodes of season 6 so I can start reviewing the show again. Um, so I thank you all for being on this live. I truly thank you guys for your love and support. Um, Definitely, I will keep touch with all of you to let you know the next time I do my next live. Definitely thank you guys for your participation, and you guys are giving me life, and I hope I can give life back to you guys in return, because we're in this together, and together we will prevail. So until next time, everybody, take care.